From a small fishing village surrounded by dense rainforests to one of the world's most powerful financial hubs, this is the story of a nation that had no natural resources, no large land, and no long rivers, yet it defeated all odds. A place where discipline became culture, diversity became strength, and vision turned into reality. Standing at the crossroads of East and West, Singapore transformed itself from colonial rule, war, and separation into a global symbol of success. A city where skyscrapers rise beside ancient temples, where tradition lives in harmony with innovation, and where a single idea changed the destiny of millions. This is not just a country, this is a miracle on an island. Welcome to Singapore. Singapore, also known as the Lion City, although it appears like a tiny dot on the world map and is counted among the smallest countries in the world, its passion for innovation and advancement has turned it into a modern city. Tall, skyscraping buildings reflect the strength of its infrastructure, while the greenery spread all around makes it a true green city. Ranked among the world's most sustainable countries, Singapore is also famous for its cultural diversity. It is widely known as a global financial hub as well. Counted among the safest and corruption-free countries in the world, Singapore offers a lot for tourists. From the world's tallest indoor waterfall to the largest orchid garden, Singapore has countless attractions. There is so much about Singapore that will surprise you. So, to explore Singapore closely, come along with us on a journey to Singapore on Infinity Stream. Singapore, officially known as the Republic of Singapore, is a city-state located on an island in Southeast Asia. It lies at the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula. To its south are Indonesia's Riau Islands, and to its north is peninsular Malaysia. Singapore is separated from Indonesia by the Singapore Strait and from Malaysia by the Johor Strait. A strait is a narrow natural waterway that connects two large bodies of water such as seas or oceans, allowing boats and ships to travel from one water body to another. To the east of Singapore lies the vast South China Sea, and to the west is the Strait of Malacca. Singapore's strategic location between the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea makes it the busiest and one of the largest ports in Southeast Asia. This position has made Singapore a major center for international trade. Since Singapore is a city-state, its capital is Singapore itself. A city-state means the entire country consists of one city, and the government of that city governs the whole nation. If you think Singapore is the only unique country like this, then you should know that Vatican City and Monaco are also city-states. Singapore's neighboring countries are Indonesia and Malaysia. Singapore is actually a diamond-shaped island surrounded by many smaller islands. The main island is called mainland Singapore, which in the Malay language is known as Pulau Ujong. Around it are 62 smaller islands. Among these, Jurong Island, Pulau Tekong, Pulau Ubin, and Sentosa are the larger islands. Singapore covers an area of approximately 735.7 square kilometers. Despite such a small area, it has a population of nearly 6 million people. This means around 8,200 people live per square kilometer. Due to this extremely high population density, Singapore is one of the most densely populated countries in the world, ranking third after Macau and Monaco. What is even more surprising is that, in the 1960s, Singapore's area was only 581.5 square kilometers. Over time, it increased to 735.7 square kilometers and may expand further in the future. But how did this happen? Singapore uses a method called land reclamation, which simply means creating land from the sea. In this process, sand, soil, and rocks are filled into coastal and sea areas to create new land. Through land reclamation, Singapore has become one of the fastest-growing countries in terms of land area. Famous places like Marina Bay, Changi Airport, Tuas Port, and Jurong Island were all developed through land reclamation. This process has not only provided more living space, but has also helped expand ports, airports, and industrial areas. However, it has also caused environmental damage, which the Singapore government is continuously working to reduce. Singapore is not only famous for land reclamation and high population density, but also for improving the standard of living of its citizens. The average life expectancy in Singapore is around 80 years. One of the reasons for this is the advanced healthcare system, which uses AI and robotics. Crime rates in Singapore are also very low, making it one of the safest countries in the world where citizens feel secure. About 80% of Singapore's population lives in flats built by the government's Housing and Development Board, HDB. These flats provide affordable housing along with a good social environment. Through this policy, the Singapore government has successfully made Singapore one of the world's most well-planned and organized cities. Singapore's education system is also excellent and is known for its high global rankings. The literacy rate is about 98%, showing how much importance is given to education. Primary education is free, and special emphasis is placed on creating a skilled and educated workforce. Around 75% of Singapore's population is of Chinese origin, while the rest are Malays and Indians. Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, and Taoism are practiced in Singapore. The official languages are English, Mandarin, Malay, and Tamil, reflecting the country's cultural diversity. Singapore's time is 2 hours and 30 minutes ahead of India. This means if it is 9:30 a.m. in India, it will be 12 noon in Singapore. Singapore's currency is the Singapore dollar, which is currently worth approximately 65.2 thousand Indian rupees in Indian currency. When we look at Singapore's history, we realize that this highly modern country was not always like this. Singapore has gone through a long journey to reach where it is today, and this journey is reflected in its history. According to Malay tradition, Singapore was founded in 1299 by an Asian prince. At that time, this fishing village was known as Temasek, which means sea. The word comes from the Javanese word tasek. For centuries, Temasek served as an important stop for sailors traveling between India and China. Fishermen and sea pirates lived here and took advantage of its strategic location. In the 14th century, a prince reportedly saw a lion here for the first time. After that, he renamed this island Singapore, which gradually became known as Singapore over time. During this period, Singapore came under the control of several empires, including the Malacca Sultanate and the Johor Sultanate. Modern Singapore's history began in 1819 when Sir Stamford Raffles of the British East India Company arrived here in search of a trading center. After seeing Singapore's location between the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea, he recognized it as an ideal trading post. In 1826, Singapore officially came under British rule, and the British government began developing it as a city and a port to turn it into a center of international trade. At that time, tin and rubber from the Malay Peninsula were in high demand, and Singapore's port worked as a natural distribution hub. As a result, Singapore, once home to fishermen and sea pirates, gradually began to develop and gain importance. In 1869, with the opening of the Suez Canal and the arrival of steamships, trade between Europe and East Asia increased significantly, further boosting Singapore's prosperity. During World War II in 1942, Japan captured Singapore, exposing the weakness of British rule. After the war ended, Japan returned Singapore to British control. In 1951, the British Royal Charter officially granted Singapore city status. In 1959, Singapore became self-governing, although Britain still controlled its military. A major turning point came in 1963 when Singapore joined the Malaysian Union. However, due to political and economic differences between the governments of Malaysia and Singapore separated in August 1965 and became an independent republic, the Republic of Singapore. After independence, The leadership of Singapore's first Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew proved crucial to the nation's development. Under his leadership, Singapore transformed from a small port into a global financial and business hub. He focused on industrialization, education, infrastructure development, and strict control over corruption. This period laid a strong foundation for Singapore's rapid growth and success. Singapore's national flag symbolizes its independence and progress. It consists of red and white colors. Red represents brotherhood and equality, while white stands for peace and purity. At the top of the flag is a crescent moon symbolizing a young nation on the rise, and next to it are 5 white stars arranged in a circle, representing democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equality. Just like its flag, Singapore's national symbol is also world fam. O's, the Merlion. Recognized globally as the symbol of Singapore, the Merlion is a mythical creature with the head of a lion and the body of a fish. The fish body represents Singapore's maritime history and sea trade, while the lion head reflects the country's original name, Singapura, derived from Sanskrit. The Merlion tells the story of Singapore's journey from a small fishing village to a modern city and represents the dreams and ideals of its people. Geographically, Singapore has both flat land and hilly areas. Most of the country lies at a low elevation, with more than half of mainland Singapore only about 15 meters above sea level. Singapore can be divided into 3 main geographical regions: the Central Hill region, the Western Undulating region, and the Eastern Coastal region. The Central Hill region is located in the center of Singapore and contains the country's highest hills along with dense forests. Major hills include Bukit Timah, Bukit Panjang, Bukit Mandai, and Bukit Batok, which contain granite reserves. Among them, Bukit Timah Hill is the highest point in Singapore, standing at about 545 feet, roughly equivalent to a 44-story building. The Bukit Timah Nature Reserve located here is an important site for biodiversity. The Western Undulating region lies in the western part of Singapore and features rolling hills and ridges such as Mount Faber Ridge and Pasir Panjang Ridge. This region has uneven and rocky terrain. The Eastern Coastal region stretches along Singapore's eastern coast and includes coastal plains and marshy land. Areas like Ketong, Bedok, and Changi are located here, formed by soil and sand brought by rivers. Mangrove forests are also found in this region. This geographical division influences Singapore's natural resources, biodiversity, and urban development. At one time, Singapore was almost completely covered with rainforests, but around 95% of them were cleared to build cities. However, recognizing the importance of the environment, Singapore adopted sustainable policies and infrastructure to transform itself into a green city and reduce environmental damage. Singapore has a tropical rainforest climate with no distinct seasons. Due to its location near the equator, the weather remains hot and humid throughout the year, with heavy rainfall. The average temperature ranges between 25 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Celsius. As a small island nation, Singapore does not have long rivers. The Kallang River, about 10 kilometers long, is the longest river, while the Singapore River, only 3.2 kilometers long, holds great historical importance because the port built along it laid the foundation for Singapore's development. Singapore has no natural lakes or glaciers. However, to meet water needs, an extensive network of reservoirs and water catchment areas has been developed. Singapore is globally recognized for its advanced water management system. Politically, Singapore is a unitary state with a centralized government. There are no states or provinces with separate powers. The entire country is governed by one central authority. Singapore follows a parliamentary democracy with a single legislative chamber. The president is the head of state, while the prime minister is the head of government. This political structure is widely admired for providing stability. For administrative purposes, Singapore is divided into 5 community development councils, CDCs, which act as a bridge between the government and citizens. These councils focus on addressing local community needs and improving government services. Each CDC covers different regions, including Central, Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, and Southwest Singapore, handling residential, cultural, industrial, and economic activities. Urban planning is managed by the Urban Redevelopment Authority, WURA, which divides Singapore into 3 main regions: Core Central Region, CCR, Rest of Central Region, RCR, and Outside Central Region, OCR. Within these regions, Singapore is further divided into 28 districts, each with its own identity, helping the government plan development effectively. Singapore's economy is one of the strongest in Asia. Manufacturing and services are the main contributors. It is one of the world's most open economies, making it easy to start a business. Low import-export taxes and business-friendly policies have attracted global companies, leading to the growth of industries such as electronics, oil refining, and biotechnology. Despite limited natural resources, Singapore is a major trading hub for machinery, petroleum products, and electronics. Tourism and financial services also play a vital role. Singapore has invested heavily in world-class ports, airports, and telecommunications, ensuring excellent logistics and connectivity. Agriculture contributes very little due to limited land, but Singapore is a major exporter of orchids and aquarium fish. Singapore's biodiversity is also significant. The country has tropical mangroves, beaches, over 300 parks, and 4 national reserves. Bukit Timah Nature Reserve alone contains thousands of plant species. Wildlife such as long-tailed macaques, slow lorises, pangolins, birds, reptiles, and marine life can be found here. For tourists, Singapore offers countless attractions: the Merlion statue, gardens by the bay, Singapore Botanic Gardens, bird paradise, night safari, Singapore Zoo, Sentosa Island, Universal Studios, Marina Bay Sands, Jewel Changi Airport's rain vortex, Singapore Flyer, Helix Bridge, cultural areas like Chinatown, Little India, Kampong Glam, and many more. Singapore's culture reflects a deep blend of Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Western influences. This diversity is visible in its music, art, festivals, food, and clothing. Festivals such as Lunar New Year, Deepavali, Hari Raya, Vesak Day, Christmas, and National Day are celebrated with great enthusiasm. Events like the Formula One Singapore Grand Prix further enhance the country's global appeal. Singapore's food culture is world famous, especially its hawker centers, recognized by UNESCO as cultural heritage. Popular dishes include Hainanese chicken rice, chili crab, laksa, char kway teow, nasi lemak, roti prata, kaya toast, and various traditional drinks. Traditional clothing such as the Chinese cheongsam, Malay baju kurung, and baju Melayu, and Indian saris are still worn. Singapore is also known as a fine city due to its strict laws ensuring cleanliness and discipline, with fines for littering, chewing gum, and other violations. Singapore can be visited year-round due to its stable climate, though peak tourist seasons are during December holidays and shopping festivals. The easiest way to travel from India to Singapore is by air, with direct flights from major cities. As you prepare for your journey, don't forget to bring back souvenirs and unforgettable memories from this unique and beautiful city-state.